at KTR. I'm so happy that you've joined us. I'm so happy that you've joined us. Right here on Kayfabe Talk Radio. I'm on here with Eric the Red and your other host J.R. Earls. Here we are talking about wrestling.
All is ready.
You are listening to Kayfabe Talk Radio. Kayfabe Talk Radio.
And all the young virgins were there. And I found a blonde with little bitty titties and a pretty yellow ribbon in her hair. And I told her the three biggest lies in the world, the ones my daddy first told me. And that was the beginning of my sexual life and the end of my fantasy. I said, this'll only hurt for a little while. I'll only put the head of it in. I promise that I'll never try to come in your mouth.
Welcome to this week's edition of Kayfabe Talk Radio, maybe the last. I am Eric the Red, John along with, as always,
Earls and the one and only
Mr. Bonesaw. Yeah,
So-
we have no class.
No, we have none whatsoever. We threw class out the door when we're talking about building IKEAs all the times, man. You know.
That's all Pat there. We're throwing him right under the fucking bus.
Mexican president called in, remember, and he was giving Pat shit. So, you know. But okay. So, wow, we have some hot topics, kids.
We got
and
so much
this-
shit to talk about.
is the hottest of all topics. Go ahead, Pat. This is wow.
Okay, well, it just recently came out that David Otunga and Jennifer Hudson have split. Apparently, he's reports say he's kind of a fucking abusive piece of shit. What do you guys think?
That's what you get with a Harvard education. You know.
Apparently.
You get your diploma and then you get the handbook on how to smack the wife around. My 2 cents on this is he was never more than a mid-card level worker anyway. He wasn't very good to begin with. Fuck him. I hope she gets the kid. I hope that he gets the book thrown at him, and I hope that he never gets booked for anything else as long as he possibly lives. And he spends the rest of his life broke and paying for his mistake.
Okay, here's what I'll say. There's a lot of people out there that are going, oh, I couldn't see David Otunga doing something like this. Look, regardless of what Earls may think, of what I've said in the past, yeah, if a guy like Benoit didn't seem like he was going to kill his family, but did, yeah, you never know what people are like behind closed doors. So, and also too, I'm not gonna say, oh, the guy was shit, good riddance. I'm just gonna be like, you know what? I mean, no one should be fucking in their right mind being, an asshole like this. So, not even just because the guy sucks as a commentator. Hey, if you're a piece of shit, you're a piece of shit. Good fucking riddance. But, it is what it is. But hey, I do want to, since there's not a lot, with that topic more than what it was, we got to kind of segue into what I just sent you guys now, the whole thing going on with that chick, Angel Amoroso or whatever.
This. Yeah.
Basically, I know we're late. I know we're, because intentionally, I kind of wanted to wait to talk about this unless more stuff from it came out, and, nothing really did. No one's really talking about it, but, since, everything, guys like Louis C.K. and George Bush and, Kevin Spacey, all these guys are fucking coming out there and getting accused. McFoley's been added to the list, and she's claiming that there's a lot of people out there, such as like, you know, Pat Patterson had supposedly went after people, which we already kind of knew that. Ashley Marazzo, what the hell was her?
Angel Amoroso.
No. Ashley,
Misano?
Massaro, yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Ashley
Massaro,
Massaro. She's claiming also that, like, she was also under, she was also getting, like, sexually assaulted while being in WWE, whatever. But this chick, Angel, is saying, like, guys like Dave Meltzer tried having his way with her. That alone should tell you.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. You know, oh my gosh. Okay, look. Oh my God. Okay. First of all, I don't believe for a minute that Mick Foley would do that. I just don't believe it. But, oh my gosh. Okay, I'm looking at this girl now, and okay. Oh, I don't want to say this to piss off people. I'm trying not to do that. But
right.
She's a fucking rat. I mean, why are we caring what she has to say? I don't get it. You know, that's what rats do. If she got into the business, that's fine. But
has there ever been any reports of her saying anything beforehand? Has there ever been? Has she been any sort of like reliable person when it came to like rumors beforehand?
No one other than that one fucking article. No one is coming out there and like commenting on it. Mick Foley's daughter didn't say nothing. No one is like denying it. No one, but also too, no one's giving it traction that like, yeah, that probably did happen. Where no one's coming to the defense of this chick. Everyone probably knows, hey, she was a fucking rat.
Yeah. It's
she
like the
was
same
a
thing
fucking
with,
rat.
I'm sorry, but didn't Ashley Mazzaro, didn't she pose for Playboy?
Well, I mean, to be fair, you can't really, you know,
You
say,
can't use that, I know.
Yeah.
That's true, but...
She did, yes, but you can't say,
but, okay, then this could open the door for a chick like Paige to say, I was sexually assaulted by those two guys in the video. No, she wasn't. You know? So,
she's sending, but even that, she kind of can't. She can't, only because more shit of that came out. And
I know.
More, and, like, she's, like, sexting, like, full-on asking for, like, fucking, like, nudes of, like, Xavier Woods and sending him shit. So, like,
oh, yeah.
She's enabling the whole fucking thing. So if she came out there and went, I was sexually assaulted.
More stuff came out with that?
Yeah, you didn't know? Oh, my God, yes.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, with her reemergence into the company, like it matters. More stuff came out, and there's even been photos, and everything's been leaked, and it's not a big deal now. It doesn't matter, but apparently, yeah, she was after him big time, dude.
Yeah, she was like saying like, oh, like like because she wanted to like do like a fuck. She's like basically telling him like, oh, I want nudes of you, and like, cause like I can't wait for you to fuck me later, and she's like, oh, like we should fuck each other and then send it to Brad Maddox or whatever.
Oh yeah.
So they or I think they used his real name.
I think that's the consequences of being Creed.
Yeah. So this is a little off topic, but did you guys have a nice holiday?
Oh yes.
That's good.
Oh yes. How about you? How was your Thanksgiving?
Oh, you had to work. I'm sorry, bub. It was good. You know, the turkey was absolutely so tender it fell off the bone, which I love, and we had a wonderful dinner, and but the next day was Black Friday, and I had two surprises pulled on me, which I thought was really great. As you guys know, I was going up to help with the wrestling autograph signing with Kevin Sullivan and Shane Douglas.
Yep.
Well, of course they were an hour late because they're the boys. They got there. They were supposed to be there at 10 o'clock, and they didn't get there till 15 after 11. Now the event was from 11 to 12, but they're supposed to get there a little early, do the stuff for the store, and then whatever. But anyway, how do I put this? The first surprise was that they were late, which wasn't a surprise to me, but it was a surprise to them. The guy who was running the event, not the guy who owns the store, but the guy who ran the event was losing his mind. And I said, dude, they're wrestlers. They're never on time, especially these guys, And so he's like, how can you be so calm about it? I said, because I'm a wrestler. I know what it's like. Shit happens.
Yeah, look at how we treat this show.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, fuck, we'll get there. Well, anyway, so the second one was that the owner of the store, who was a dear friend of mine, Tim Arnott, who owns Third Floor Comics and the Nitro Antique Mall in Nitro, West Virginia. He's a very, very dear friend. He said, when I got there at 7 o'clock in the fucking morning, he goes, hey, JR, I got a table for you all set up. I said, set up for what? He said, to sell your art and stuff. And I was like, dude, I'm not here for that today. I even left the shit at home. He was like, well, you better go get it. So I called Stacy, and she came all the way back out and brought me my art stuff so I could sell it. And I did pretty well that day.
I already assumed that you were going there to sell art as well.
No, I wasn't there for that.
You were there pretty much to hang out with Shane?
I was there to hang out with Shane and Kevin. Yeah, Kevin is so fucking quiet. He's creepy quiet. Just when you think he can't get any creepier, he's quiet. And they were literally, both of them were geeking out over the store, because he doesn't just have old comic books and toys. He's got antiques. He's got like old lunch boxes from the 50s and the 60s and the 70s and the 80s. He's got vintage Coca-Cola and Pepsi products. Like big advertisements and bottles and cups and plates, and he's got clocks. He's got this. I mean, this store is amazing. He even has what's called the creepy room. The creepy room consists of things like real morgue tools, like tools they use in the morgue. He's had real coffins in there. He's had the dead photography. You know how back in the old days they would set up the bodies with the families and take pictures of them like they were alive. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's got shit like that.
Wow.
The store itself is legitimately haunted. We've had a couple of actual ghost hunts there, and it's yielded results every time. But the boys were just, I mean, Shane and Kevin were absolutely just geeking out over how cool everything was, and they were really into it. And but do you guys remember? And I felt really bad, and I know Pat's going to make a joke, but which I was kind of counting on. But remember in the movie The Wrestler when they did the Legend signing?
Oh, and like nobody showed up?
Nobody showed up, and the guys were like falling asleep and things like that. Well, there wasn't a great turnout. It was okay. I mean, they made enough, because this was really what, in the business, as we would call a gas money stop. That's all this was. Because they had a show in Kentucky that night.
Yeah, and also too, you're also doing this on the fucking morning of Black fucking Friday.
This is the busiest day of the year, yeah. So
yeah.
This is the day where people kill each other over a fucking or a fucking hairdryer that's gonna be useless in 2 years.
Or in case of in the case of Bubby over here, a double whopper.
Yeah, I'll give you that with onion rings. But
onion rings on the burger.
Oh, damn straight. Oh, now you're talking. Fuck. I know what I'm having for dinner tonight. Fuck the dumb shit. Anyway, by the way, fuck both of you right in the ass. But anyway, keep talking. I'll call Patterson. You know you love it. Anyway.
Keep talking. I'll call Virgil. I know you'll love it.
Oh, you dick. Oh, my God. You fucking aced me. Damn you. Anyway.
He'll take you to a nice dinner at Olive Garden.
Yeah, Earl will be the dinner.
Yeah, exactly.
He cannibalized his own family during Thanksgiving. He was like, "Oh, that turkey was so tender and came right off the bone."
Pat, I love how you
Uncle Ted.
I'm telling you,
Pat. Anyway, I love how you're taking a drunken joke and making it a reality. That's great.
So Shane Douglas sat there and he dozed off twice during the event. There was maybe 25 people that showed up, which I thought was a good number for it being Black Friday. Shane actually told me his version of the snowed-in story.
Okay.
He told me his version of it. He goes, well, yeah, he goes, when we first got there, it was clear as a bell. There was nothing on the ground. The sky was blue, and they said there was a threat of a snowstorm, but we figured, fuck it, it's not going to come. And, so we go in, and I was sitting there next to Sting, and I was sitting there next to this guy and that guy. He's talking, and meanwhile Kevin's looking at him just smiling. And he goes, and then what happened was along about intermission is when they made the announcement that snow was coming. He goes, and I went outside to make a phone call, and yeah, it was starting to snow pretty hard, but we figured we could still get out of there. He said, so by the time the main event rolls around, there's literally 10 people in the audience.
Wow.
And, and the snow has gotten to be like 2 or 3 feet by this point. And, he goes and Brian and Steve and I wanted to go out there and just do a 20-minute quick match, but fucking Steamboat's got to have his way about it. We went out there and wrestled for a fucking hour. And he was laughing his ass off. He goes, fucking Ricky made us go out there and work for over an hour, and we're like, come on, damn you. And they're cussing it. I was like, that's hilarious, because they're cussing Steamboat. How funny is that? And he says, and then Steamboat tries to get us killed, because now we're in his car, and he's got this fucking crazy ass car with no fucking tread. It took us 7.5 hours to drive 5 miles because of how standstill the traffic was.
Damn.
That's how bad the snowstorm was. And I was like, damn, that's crazy, man. So it was pretty cool, and it was really neat. Because I asked him, I said, so what's your take on the snowed in story with you and Ricky and the blondes? He went, oh fuck. That was actually how he started it. He just got this grin on his face and went, oh fuck, dude. And so yeah, because we were sitting where I was sitting, we were about 3 feet from each other. Oh,
so you guys were just pretty much talking to each other the whole time.
Pretty much, yeah.
Because when I met Shane for the first time, he's talking to me for a half an hour. He will fucking talk your ear off, and really? And to the point where people were like, all right.
So polite and friendly. Yeah.
And by the way, I gotta tell you this. I know you're not gonna be surprised because of how much of a pro that he is, but the recent show, for Tommy's show, House of Hardcore, he did a first blood match with Joey Mercury, which was pretty fucking good. And they did a rough bump. Joey bleeds. Then Magnus from TNA comes in, wipes his head, whatever, and then they're beating on Tommy. Shane comes in, you think he's making the babyface save? No, he beats the fuck out of Tommy. They all make him bleed. And to the point where the crowd yells, fuck you franchise, and starts old school throwing trash in the ring.
Yes!
And he just ate it up, and they and he got the perfect heat in 2017 that was totally old school. I haven't seen anyone get heat like that in so long. And Shane was able to pull it off at his age.
Yeah, Shane's amazing.
You can see he was so happy.
Yeah, I had nothing bad to say about him. And one of my friends that was there for the signing, well, he was there to hang out with me at my table, but he was watching them. And when he saw Shane doze off, I was like, dude, he's fucking tired. Because it wasn't drugs. This guy was exhausted. You could just tell.
Oh, driving all that way, yeah.
Driving all that way and all that stuff, and plus they had, listen to this. So Friday night was going to be Kentucky. Saturday night was going to be Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And then they had somewhere in on Sunday. I don't know where they went, but
North Carolina, isn't that Russell Cade?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, he may have been there for Russell Cade then.
Yeah, that makes sense because. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, anyway, so we were talking about, what was it, earlier when you mentioned Benoit and his family. Kevin Sullivan, of course, they bring their promos with them. One of his promos was him with Fallen Angel, with Nancy. And I'm just like, wow, way to make some money on her, bro. I didn't say anything, but I'm just like, damn.
Shit.
Yeah, and it happened to be the one of him with his hands around her throat like he's choking her. And that's, I mean, I saw the picture and I kind of cackled. I was like, that's funny. And I just kind of walked away, and you know, the guy who was handling them is a friend of mine. He goes, "What's so funny, Alfie?" I said, "It's just
It's an inside joke."
I told him, I said, extremely inside joke. Well, because I knew better than to say something to him about, you know.
You ever think that's why he's quiet? Because anytime anyone sees him anymore, the first thing anyone says is, "Hey, did you kill her?"
Hey, I got news for you guys. I got news.
Someone did.
I got news for you. So I have a Roku now, and I have this Fight app, and it has like all like Ring of Honor episodes, and it has shoot interviews on it too. And
wait! I just sent it to you. This is the picture.
Okay, but
Okay.
But let me explain.
Oh my god!
Yeah, let me look at this first.
So help me God! You could buy that promo for $15 and have him sign it.
He's doing that, dude. He's doing that to be a dick.
Oh.
Like he's not. Well, he's doing it. He's doing it more to just be like to add to the factor of making people like think otherwise. Dude, he's living the gimmick. That's the best way to explain
he
it.
is.
But anyway, so yeah, so I'm watching this shoot interview with him on the Fight app, and this guy Devin Nicholson, who we all know is pretty much the boy of Billy Graham there. He pulls no punches, and and they're talking about like shit with Nancy and Benoit, and like Sullivan flat out says or he's like, all right, about the Benoit thing, he's like, I broke up with them, and he's like, me and Nancy broke up, or she left me, you know, like 15 something years ago or whatever, before that whole accident even happened with Benoit or whatever, or maybe longer than that, like almost 20 years. He's like, by the time Nancy was already, the incident already happened with Nancy and Benoit, it was already like, you know, 10, 15 years or whatever by the time they broke up. And he's also, like, Devin Nicholson's also saying to him, like, there's rumors of you being a Satanist, and Kevin Sullivan laughs it off, and he goes, dude, I'm a Christian. He's like, I know I get that vibe, but, you know, he's like, no, I'm a Christian. So, I mean, I don't know. You never know. He could be he could be bullshitting. You never know. I'm gonna say is
a lot of people that are saying this, they're usually upfront about it. They usually don't hide it. They're very vocal about it.
Yeah, they do it for the shock factor.
Yeah,
you know? And
right.
Yeah, Kevin's had that vibe about him for years and years, and it's true. But do I think he is? I don't really give a shit. I don't care. I don't care enough about it to find out. You know, do I think he had anything to do with Benoit and Nancy? People like to think he did, and you and I both we think so. But again, it happened 10 years ago. It's over.
Yeah. If he did, he did. If not, whatever. Benoit's been dead for 10 years. So is Nancy and the kid. You know, it doesn't matter.
They're all skeletons in the ground. Fuck it, you know, or whatever happened to them. Yeah. But you know, it's one of those things.
The last thing,
it's the urban myth that keeps going on with it. You know.
Yeah, and the last thing with that is he said like something along the lines of, "Do you really think I would have killed a kid?"
Exactly.
So, like, this was Sullivan saying this, so I was like, all right, yeah, let's backtrack here.
You know, it's a proven criminal fact that most times when a child is brutally murdered like that, it's done by someone who knows the child or is the parent of that child. And it's a sad fact of life, but that's just the way it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
he also said something along the lines of like, people don't want to believe it still because of how great of a wrestler he was. And I could kind of get that, because it's like, I don't like a music reference. I don't like Lars Ulrich at all from Metallica as a person, but I do think he's a good drummer. I'm not gonna give him shit. I think he's an asshole, but I'm not gonna sit here and go, oh, he's a piece of shit. I don't care for his his work. He's just been he's good. It's just I'm not
he's
gonna.
not. No, he's not.
All right. If we're talking, listen, I'm not talking fucking Death Magnetic, and I'm not talking fucking the Saint Anger album when it sounds like he's hitting a tin can. All right, I'm talking like the days of like the Black Album.
No, he wasn't even good back then.
Wow.
He wasn't.
He's not one of the best.
He was never good.
He'll never be the drummer caliber of, say, Phil Collins. But that's my
get the
opinion.
fuck out of here.
That's my opinion, but I'm right. So
I'm gonna get one of your kids to choke slam you.
It wouldn't be hard. But the truth is though, Eric's got a point to really don't like the guy because
I have no problem with the guy. I just think he's a terrible drummer.
It's funny.
He's like a Meg White kind of drummer. He just bangs on things, and everything around him sounds good.
Well, hey, that's the same way people could say with Joey Jordison, formerly of Slipknot. Where like everyone was in the metal community was like, "Oh, look how fucking good Joey Jordison is." And like Joey Jordison is going out there just banging on shit, making it seem like, "Oh, look how fucking metal we are. Look, are we awesome? Look at that double bass." Yeah, where's your technique, kiddo?
I don't know who any of these people are except for Lars Ulrich, so I'm going to go with he's an asshole, but I like Metallica.
Yeah.
Okay. I know who Slipknot is. I mean, I know the bands. I just don't know these individual people.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
It's hard. It's really hard for me to see a band as an individual person, like individual people. Like I know James Hetfield's the lead singer of Metallica, and I know Lars was the. And the only reason why I know who Lars is was because when Napster was a thing, and he was raising hell with Napster.
Hey, that
was really the only thing. That was my only introduction to him.
That's exactly why I'm like, wow, what a dick.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, you're right.
I mean, I know you can't blame him because they gotta make money too. But at the same time, he made it seem like that, like they were the only band suffering from this. But not even that. He made it seem like they don't have money and that they need, if one person gets one album for free, that like, oh my god, Metallica's gonna just lose all their money and they're gonna be in significant debt. Motherfucker, you guys are millionaires. Shut the
Eric,
fuck up.
You sound really pissed off. Were you the one illegally downloading off Napster?
Dude, I was fucking.
Quiet too. He got quiet too.
I know he did. He's like, how do I make this sound believable?
Dude, I have openly admitted on air that I've used Napster and LimeWire like years ago, so it's no.
My LimeWire days were legendary.
Hey.
I just hear a bunch of fapping. Don't you hear the fapping in the wind?
I hear it.
Hey,
it's funny. I'm looking at it right now. As of 2010, Lars Ulrich had a net worth of $175 million. You know what? Fuck him. So
you're getting that album on discount? Fuck you! I need my cut.
I've seen Metallica CDs at Walmart for $5. I mean, come on. So.
Well, I mean, nowadays that's all they're worth because their albums these days are either rehashes of sounds of what they did, or they're just so falling behind the times that now they're sounding like that other shitty band, Avenged Sevenfold.
Oh, I like them. Fuck you.
Dude, listen. I don't care if you like them. I like Seether. You don't care for Seether.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's just agree to disagree. Who cares?
But I'm right.
Pat just went. That's awful.
Yeah, there, real quick, and we'll get into everything else. But like, I'm one day, Pat sees me and he goes, "Why the fuck are you wearing a Seether shirt?" He's like, "What are you, one of these fucking girls from like the mid-2000s?"
Oh wow.
It just completely fucking buries me. I'm like, Fuck you, man. I like the band.
That's fucking harsh, though. All right, so you got. I don't know, Pat. Did you see Table for Three yet?
No, I didn't get a chance to.
Oh boy, I get to spoil it for both you motherfuckers. Okay, so yesterday. No, I'm not going to spoil all of it, but I will say this: Table for Three was on, and it featured Sting, Ric Flair, and Ricky Steamboat, and it was fantastic. Flair was more or less the moderator. And he sat there and he talked to Sting, he talked to Ricky. They were all discussing stuff. They did not talk about the things you would expect them to. Like, they didn't mention '89. They didn't mention the big feuds, any of that craziness. Ricky told a road story from 1978 that had Flair laughing so hard I thought he was going to piss himself.
Good.
Because they were discussing, Ricky said, he goes with the way kayfabe was back then, and then they go off on a tangent about kayfabe, and I'm going to tell the story because it's really funny. He says that, and as we all know, back in those days, especially back in those days, if you went to after the show, you go on your beer run, and there happens to be the guy that you just worked in the store, you'd go somewhere else because you couldn't break kayfabe.
Yeah.
And the way Ricky tells it. Ricky shows up at the of course, and the fans knew where you were going to be because back in those days, man, the fans were like fucking bloodhounds. They would track you down, and so Flair was already at this convenience store when Steamboat pulls up, and Steamboat, I guess he was going to leave, and then he decided to say fuck it and go back, and so he goes in. All the fans are around Flair. He walks up to Flair, grabs him, spins him around, and just cuts a promo right on Flair, right there at the store in front of God and everyone. And to hear Steamboat tell it, Flair's eyes were as big as saucers. Ricky walks out the store and leaves. And 2 o'clock in the morning, Ricky's hotel room phone rings, waking Ricky up. He's like, what? And it's Rick going, hey, man, are we okay? What the fuck are you talking about? He goes, oh, you were really intense in the store. Did I do something to pay? He goes, it was a work! What the hell? And to hear this story, retold, and, you've got Flair right there. Flair's laughing his nuts off, man. I learned something new, though, about Sting. I thought he was happily married. Apparently, he just got remarried.
Oh, yeah.
And couple of years. I don't know. I mean, that's the one aspect of their lives I don't really know about. Apparently, Ricky's been married 2 or 3 times. Holy shit.
Yep.
Because he's engaged now to a new girl.
It's weird that I knew all of this.
That is, but you watch Total Divas. I mean, you're really into this.
Nah, that's my dad.
Yeah, whatever. You're right there next to him fapping over fucking Bryan Danielson. I don't want to hear it.
No, oh no, I go in there just to watch him no-cell pregnancy. I skip everything else.
He does. Good God.
There's two, yeah, we talked about it when they put the fucking, the electrodes on him and he's just sitting there like, okay, it hurts, but I don't really care.
Yeah, pretty much, like, and.
Yeah, no, there's only 2 things I watch about that show, that, and whenever they're all in bikinis and shit. Other than that, I give a fuck about, like, all their dramas.
Hey, do you guys remember, think back, because believe it or not, I used to have all of them. Remember when they would put out the Diva magazines where it was, like, all them in, like, bikinis and, like, exotic suits? Man, I used to freaking love those. Oh, my God. They were better than you're damn straight. Hey, I was a young, red-blooded American male, and you damn Skippy.
Can we test that?
Sure. What?
Right?
No. Of course, that was. What sucks is that was right after the Sunny era, and how cool would it have been if we could have gotten some of those with her in it?
Well, you could now.
I don't wanna.
Back when she was hot. I'm not saying that.
Not a Walmart smoker voice, Sonny.
Oh, come on, baby, work it. There you go. Touch it. There you go.
And when she sounds like Brock Lesnar doing a match.
First, I'm gonna play with your balls.
No, she sounds more manly than Brock Lesnar.
Yes, she does.
No, did you hear Brock Lesnar in Survivor Series when he's with AJ? He's like, "Come on, AJ."
What the hell? Yes, dude. That was like, stand up, Kurt, or come on, Jeff, god damn it. I mean, that was like, there you go, just talk, just fucking talk. Yeah, I was yelling at my computer.
Hey, Cena has always been a victim of that. Well, not a victim. He's always been like one of those guys to go, okay, arm drag.
Yeah, he does. It's like he's trying to make it up as he goes.
Drop kick.
I'm like, oh, bless his heart. Give him a playbook, somebody.
No, how about you take the mic out of the fucking ring?
Take the mic out of the damn ring, man, because, yeah, God bless me. All right, so, okay, and one more, I got to go off on a little tangent here. I was flipping channels, and Ring of Honor happened to be on, and usually Ring of Honor is a good wrestling show.
What do they do now?
I'm going to a show in 2 weeks.
Oh.
No, I don't want to hear any back talk against Ring of Honor.
Fuck the Young Bucks. I'd fire him in a heartbeat.
Really?
There was no wrestling. It was all flipping and jumping and fucking... I thought I was watching Lucha Libre, which, by the way, I have some news about that. But
hey,
I thought...
Listen, dude, they're an act, all right?
There's more wrestling on Lucha Underground than there was in that one match. I'm not saying all of Ring of Honor is like that, but this was.
Hey, I got a good question for you. Was that the 8-man tag? Were they in there with
Yes.
Marty? Oh, okay, I know what match you're talking about. It's the guys they're working against. There's these two guys. One is Flip Gordon, and there's someone else.
Yes.
They're like really small guys. Yeah, it's the guys they're working.
I give them the benefit of the doubt, going, well, they're really tiny. Maybe they're cruiserweights.
Yeah,
you know,
dude, you gotta.
They are people. I mean, I'm not saying they're midgets. I'm just saying they're tiny dudes.
Dude, you just gotta. The one thing you gotta accept is like, okay, think of it like this, all right? If everyone's doing flips, yeah, it's overboard. But if it's the Young Bucks themselves on a show where everyone's doing fucking drop toe holds and everyone's doing brawls, and it's just Young Bucks going out there doing flips, they're an act. That's the gimmick. Let them have the gimmick. But if it's Flippy Team versus Flippy Team, yeah, it's kind of. I can understand your overkill there, but
I will say this: the crowd was really into it,
dude. Because the Young Bucks are over as shit.
They are over as shit, and you're
can't
right.
deny that.
Oh, you're right.
This is a match with Marty Scurll in it, and there wasn't any fucking like headlocks or submission holds or anything.
To be fair, Pat, I am still a big Marty fan, but he is kind of a victim of. All right, for instance, Marty will do this thing, Earls, where like he'll take your fingers and he'll snap them, right, making it look like, oh, okay, you know, adding to the match. The guy that's taking the spot doesn't sell it for more than 20 seconds.
Oh.
But in Japan, and this is Ring of Honor, in Japan, you have guys that sell it. You have, like, he did it to one of the...
a good minute.
No,
you
dude.
saw how Naito sold it, right?
He
jumped around the ring.
All right, there's a young guy there called in Japan. He's called Hiromu Takahashi, and he's a cruiserweight. And Marty Scurll snaps his fingers, and to the point now where Hiromu's going out there with a kayfabe cast.
See, that's awesome.
So he's actually fucking selling it. So
right.
You know, it's not like, oh, the art of selling is dead. It depends who the fuck does it.
Yeah, it is. You're absolutely right. And how far that person's willing to go. We had a guy that did a mask gimmick, and he was a legitimate... I've mentioned him before. He was the Cuban Assassin #2. His dad was the original Cuban Assassin.
Yeah.
Angel Acevedo, and his name is, my friend, is Richie Acevedo. Well, he went on... He did a thing where we worked an angle where there was an angle in the promotion where he had to lose, and it was a loser leaves town, and he came back as the Red Devil, kind of like a yellow dog gimmick. You know, he had a mask.
Or like Midnight Rider.
Yeah, well, he would wear the mask in and out of the building. You know, he would wear the mask backstage. He kept it up, and that's the level of, I'm willing to sell this gimmick as much as I possibly can to get it over with the fans. And he was doing this in 2001 when, you know, kayfabe was already dead and buried, but he was still doing it because that's the way he was raised in the business. You know, he literally raised in the business. So, yeah, you're right. It's the level of It's the level of how far am I willing to take this to make it look believable.
I remember this one thing. It was with Jake the Snake, where he got some kind of like mist or something in his eyes.
Rick Martel with the stuff, yeah.
Yes,
the
and he started wearing one like clear contact to make his eye look like he was like blind in one eye.
Yeah.
There was an instance in ECW where I think it was a feud between Dreamer and the Sandman, and Dreamer puts a cigarette that Nancy had. He takes a cigarette and puts in one of Sandman's eyes, and he canes him in the other eye. And then they, for almost a year, they made it seem like Sandman was blind, and he went to the extent, Sandman, that like he wouldn't open the door. He wouldn't go out of his house. If someone went to the door, his wife would answer the door.
Mm-hmm.
So he would actually try to protect kayfabe in the sense that, yeah, we're fucking hardcore, but we're still gonna sell.
Oh yeah, and you have to.
And he came out there. They did a big angle, like a big reveal with him, where he came out there in the suit, and he had like tape over his eyes, and they were like saying like, "Oh, he's gonna retire." Then he rips the tape off and canes Tommy right in the head, and to build to this big angle with them.
Yeah.
And it was all to get Tommy Dreamer over, and it fucking worked.
You know who was like one of the biggest kings of selling back in the day was Dusty Rhodes.
I would have said Ricky Morton, but yes, Dusty
dude,
too.
no, he is the king. He'd have you believing he was dead, man. I mean, and he still does. Morton is one of those guys that, he's like Shane Douglas. He's found the fountain of youth in the wrestling ring, and it keeps him going. And yeah, Ricky Morton can sell his ass off. He's amazing. And Dusty's good though. Dusty was like one of those guys that, like when the Horsemen beat him up in the parking lot and broke his arm.
I fucking love that.
Yeah, but the problem is, the original undoctored video is you hear Dusty telling him to make it look good. Yeah, I guess the camera was rolling before it was supposed to, and you actually hear Dusty going, "All right, boys, make it look good," and then it goes right into it, and I'm like, "Oh no, they didn't! Damn!" It's like, don't do that. It's one of those things where, like, when we're in the business and we see something that exposes the business, we're like, "Oh, don't do that." Meanwhile, the marks are going, "Was that real?" Nope.
Oh, so that's what they're doing these days.
yeah, exactly. But
anyway, we got a whole fucking synopsis that we still didn't get to.
Well, wait a minute. One more thing, and then we'll get into it. Okay?
Oh my god! In basically an hour. Okay.
Fuck Cody Rhodes. All right, so.
Oh,
fuck you!
We got. I got an art order to draw a couple of the guys from Lucha Underground.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, my friend Shane is going to be meeting them and Emma, apparently, under her real name.
Tennille Dashwood.
Yes, which I don't know why the hell they didn't let her have that. Dashwood, that's a good name for a worker. I mean, I thought. Well, anyway, the two workers are. Hold on, let me find it. They're both Mexican, that's for sure. Let me see. Here we go. Pentagon L0.
Pentagon Jr.
Yes. And the other one is Ray Phoenix.
They're brothers.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Dude, Pentagon is fucking over right now on the indie scene. Mm-hmm. This Cero M, by the way, that's his catchphrase. In Spanish, it's Cero Miedo. In American, it means zero fear. And when he's out there, even on an indie show, they fucking chant Cero Miedo, and he's pretty much like a Mexican Kevin Steen. Like, he just goes out there, balls to the wall. He does a thing where he'll jerk your arm, he'll have you on the ground and he'll tie you up, and then he'll have your arm and he'll pull you back, make it look like he broke your arm. And the people will actually sell it. They won't get up. That's pretty much his finish. Yeah, he's really fucking over right now. So that's really cool. He's actually their champion right now. On Lucha.
Oh, well, see, that's awesome. Yeah, because he's gonna. Yeah.
And they're supposed to come back with a season 4 too. So Lucha's
so
not dead,
Phoenix?
folks.
Is it Ray Phoenix or Ray Phoenix? I'm assuming
Phoenix.
It's Phoenix.
Yeah, it's Ray Phoenix. Yeah, but yeah, they're actually Shoot brothers. They don't have them teaming yet. They don't have them teaming yet in Lucha, but they are teaming on Indies.
Okay, yeah, that's because that's what he said. They're having a tag match.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I think that's great. I really do, because I mean, damn. When Shane messaged me, he was really, really super excited, and I was like, "What's going on?" He says, "I need you to draw me some guys." I was like, "Okay, who?" And he sent me the pictures of them. I was like, "Oh, cool," because I actually know who Emma is, but I had no idea who the Mexicans were, and you know.
Well, you gotta admit, dude. I know you don't know who Pentagon is yet, and trust me, you'll be impressed with him when you see him. But like,
I actually already have. I looked him up on YouTube, and he's fantastic.
You watch this match with Vampiro, you'll be like, "Holy shit!"
Ooh, okay, all right.
Yeah,
I love
Did you hear him with his lisp? He was like, "Ew, okay."
Well, I like Vampiro. I thought he was a good worker. But anyway, let's go to our synopsis before we get any later. And Patrick's over here having a fucking titty attack over. It's been an hour.
Well, dude, to be fair, he does have to go to work. So.
Oh, I didn't know that. Shit, you should have said something, jackass.
Dude, that's why we wrap it up, bro. That's why we always wrap it up at exactly 1. He's got work.
Well, then we got it. Well, then let's get into it then, because it's a
right.
good synopsis.
Okay,
I'm sorry, Pat. My bad.
Yeah, so I think we could get through this. Okay, so first thing on here, Cody Rhodes, the Young Bucks try to set up a self-financed 10,000 seat event in 2018, an indie show. They're trying to lock down a location within Chicago, London, San Francisco, and Ontario, California, and they're still trying to figure it out. It looks like California might be their best option, but Dave Meltzer is actually saying that Ring of Honor couldn't sell out a 10,000 seat arena, and Cody's taking this as a challenge.
You know what? If anyone can do it, I think he probably could.
Probably.
Right, yeah.
I mean, if they can get the funding and everything, I mean, if they get a huge supercard of like guys that are on the indie scene, they could probably do it.
But
yeah, they're got to. It's going to be so name heavy in order for it to do that.
It's gotta be, it's gotta be guys. It can't be like some random schmo that is just starting out in like fucking championship wrestling from Hollywood. It has to be well-known indie names that are out there. Like, borrow some Ring of Honor guys, like the Briscoes, like like Kenny Omega from Japan.
I mean, if it's an independent event that they're doing, is it going to be sponsored by Ring of Honor or what?
I don't know. I think it's their own like entity, but I'm sure they're going to ask some of the boys from Ring of Honor, "Hey, do you want to do this?" It cannot.
Do you think
be fucking...
it's possible? Well, let me ask you this: do you think it's possible for Cody to pull some strings and maybe get some Fed guys?
No.
Nah.
No.
You don't think
if
so?
He didn't go, they might have been able to do that if he had gone to Starrcade with like the ROH belt.
Mm-hmm.
But considering there's bad blood between him and the company now.
Yeah, there is.
No, actually, not as much as you would think. It's just more of a thing. It's just more of a thing where he's like, okay, I know they weren't going to see me as a top guy, and that's fine, but I feel like I had nothing left to do in that company. That's kind of what he said.
I mean, no, after the whole incident where they fired a fucking writer for hanging out with them during their video.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
and then the fact
I feel like
that's
more with the Bucks.
Like 10 cease and assists already.
Yeah, and guess what, Pat? You were right, by the way. I was watching World Tag League from New Japan, and Chase Owens was doing the Too Sweet. So
yeah, you can do it in Japan.
You were right. I didn't. So
because Kenny Omega only did like the finger because like they need something for the guys in Ring of Honor to do. But when you're in New Japan, you can do whatever the fuck you want. They can't sue you there.
So
Because
I
it's
gotta
not broadcasting. It's not meant to be broadcast in the States.
but it is being broadcast through their network.
They're probably gonna edit that out. Or they
No,
have,
dude, I
put
was
something
watching
over.
it on the network. They didn't edit it out.
Oh, New Japan Network?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine. That's primarily for Japan.
It's still Japan. Yeah.
No, if it was
That's
on
why
Access TV, no, they're gonna edit that out.
Access TV, they're gonna
Right.
probably block it out.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so yes or no,
Alright.
do we think he can book a crowd, that big a crowd? I would love to see him do it.
I want to see. It's a pipe right now. Let's call it what it is. It's with all due respect to the guy. It is a pipe dream. I want to. I wanted to see. I want to see it happen because that is when the indie boom will be coming. That's when you could say, okay, it's an indie boom.
Yeah, that if there is ever a time to set it off, that will do it.
Oh, I mean, you can get funding though. I mean, easily because think about it this way: Bucks could get money from Hot Topic.
Mhm.
Hell, Cody could have advertising on because he works a lot with Ring of Honor works a lot with the CW network. He's on Arrow and Flash a lot. So
Speaking of which, did you guys see where Goldberg's going to be on Arrow?
Wait, what?
Yeah, Goldberg's going to be on Arrow too.
Do you know when?
It'll be this season.
I'm gonna look. And hey, also too.
Check and look because he really will be. Did you see him on the actual Goldberg's TV show?
Yeah,
that was funny.
All right, that's funny.
He's the brother of the coach.
Okay.
That's funny. Hey, and another thing. Speaking of Arrow, we never told you, Earls. So a few weeks ago, during the whole War Games and Survivor Series weekend, the Ring of Honor did a house show in San Antonio, and Stephen Amell actually worked a match.
Oh, I know.
Oh, okay. Did you hear that he what the fuck? Did you hear that he took a table spot?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
And he actually did the Meltzer driver too.
Yes,
the
he did.
Taker.
Yeah, the Indie Taker. Also
wasn't that neat?
Oh, that's fucking cool, man.
Personally,
really
yeah,
fun.
I was gonna say personally, 'cause he really, dude, guys, he loves wrestling. Did you see him on American Ninja Warrior?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Did you see it? Did you see it, Pat? Did you see it, Eric?
No, I didn't see it on American Ninja Warrior yet.
Oh my God, dude! Tell him, Pat. Tell him it was amazing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was fucking really cool.
It was great. Yeah.
I'm gonna get the actual clip of that.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, he does the whole course, and then he takes it one step further and does one more thing because it was all for charity. The Red Nose Day charity thing that they do. It was actually really cool. But
yeah, he's in fantastic shape. He could be a fucking worker.
He could be. He really could. If this Arrow thing doesn't pan out for him, he could easily become a wrestler.
Dude, Arrow thing, dude, they're on fucking 6 seasons.
I was making a sarcastic joke. Oh, hey, it was a work, brother.
Sarcasm with Eric. His brain doesn't get it.
Polish. It's a Polish thing. I know.
Yeah,
I only get my sarcasm because I know I'm supposed to be sarcastic.
Oh my God! All right, so what's next in the synopsis? Let's just get this out of the way. Who cares that Paige is back? Who cares?
All right, I just want to point something out here. I don't know what the booking team's doing, but to bring you both up to speed in case you don't know, they got her aligned with two of the girls from the last season of Tough Enough. One is a blonde chick named Mandy Rose, and another one is an MMA girl from Jersey called Sonya Deville. And they're coming out there pretty much beating everyone up on Raw, whatever. And then on the SmackDown show, they got Ruby Riott, who is Heidi Lovelace on the Indies. You have a Jersey girl by the name of Liv Morgan, a small blonde girl who used to date Enzo. And then you have someone that you met, Earls, Crazy Mary Dobson, in that group as well.
Oh, they finally brought her up.
Yeah, so they're doing the same. They're doing the same 3-woman, beat down thing on each show, and it's like, well, what the fuck are you guys doing? What? Why are you doing the same angle?
You want to know how over she is, with the, or not over, but how at home she is with the locker room. Dude, I was sitting there and I didn't realize that she was getting ready to get dressed. We're sitting there shooting the shit because me and her we instantly became friends, right? And she's dating Pondo, at least she was at the time. No. And so, Pondo was back there, me and him were sitting back there talking with her and just shooting the shit because I conduct myself like a professional. Well, anyway, Mary's just sitting there just stripping down, just carrying on a conversation like she was one of the boys. And, I looked. But
oh,
anyway,
yeah, nice thing to say when this is all being recorded and your wife is in the house. No, good job, Earl.
She's sitting 2 feet from me. I don't give a fuck. What is she going to do? Kick me out? Go ahead. Anyway, but...
she's looking at you like, don't test me.
His wife is actually not in the other room. His wife is not in the other room. He's just like, I'm big and tough. Oh, hi, honey.
Hold on a minute. Say hi. Hi.
Oh,
eat my ass. Anyway, let me tell you something.
That's a big ass. I don't want to do that.
All day job, bitch. You better bring a lunch. Let me tell you something about my wife. I can say stuff like that because I guarantee you beyond the shadow of any doubt. If she was there and there was a naked Sam Winchester or a naked Stephen Amell, she'd be all up in that shit. So there you go.
All right. All right, fine. All right, you guys gave each other passes.
I like the idea of the women getting their due. A Royal Rumble would be great. A women's elimination chamber would be awesome. But man, these fucking girls are wrestling now, and they're actual wrestling. It's not just titty and shake. These girls are actually getting in there and doing it, and I think it's wonderful.
Yeah, I'm all for it, man. I mean, I've been saying a long time, like, hey, we need a women's Royal Rumble. Hey, we need a women's Money in the Bank, because if you want to do this whole women's revolution thing, fucking treat them like the guys. Let them go out there and do shit. But you know what?
To be honest, I've been looking back at like wrestling. These girls are not. I mean, some of them are really good, but I've been looking back even into like early '90s, and a lot of people don't realize this. They had a lot of women from Japan come way earlier.
Right. The jumping bomb angels, Aja Kong,
Bull Nakano.
Give me some names. Who?
Bull Nakano.
Bull Nakano. Oh my God! Remember the night that Aja Kong? I think it was Aja Kong. She took the belt from Melundra Blaze and she did that spinning back knuckle punch and she really fucking hit her.
Yeah.
Remember that night? Knocked her the fuck out. And Medusa is a legitimate black belt. She'll kick your ass. And Aja Kong just went pow. And I mean,
I forgot the Survivor Series, but there was, I think it was 95, 96.
Yeah.
Fucking fantastic match.
They did.
And I'm looking at this. That looks like men wrestling, like dudes wrestling. No, it's just like, they're decent enough wrestlers. We're just gonna give them like gimmick moves from like the 1980s. Like they're gonna have finishes like a basic elbow drop, or she's gonna slightly pick her up and do a sidewalk slam, or that doesn't really look too destructive because she's like a 118 pound girl, or she's gonna do a belly to belly suplex, and that's gonna be her finish.
Oh, see, I have a very deep affection for women wrestling because before I met Sunny, I was trained by 2 women. That my training started with 2 girls, my sisters Mimi and Valerie. And they were teaching me stuff long before I met Sunny. I met Sunny in 94. I met them in 91.
Sonny Rogers, for anyone that's getting confused.
Sonny Rogers. I'm sorry. Yeah, Sonny Rogers. Not.
I knew you meant.
Your old farting Sonny from the video there. Yeah. So Sonny Rogers, my dearest brother. I miss him so much. But so what's the story with Matt Hardy? You said it looks like is this one of those things where he's lost his smile, or?
They're doing a feud between Bray now and him, and they pretty much been doing a losing streak there with Matt Hardy, and he's just sitting in the corner doing the delete thing, and it looks like they're gonna give him the broken gimmick now, mainly because it looks like the whole lawsuit thing with Anthem and Impact is dying down. So it looks like WWE is gonna go ahead and they're giving the green light to do this gimmick.
Fantastic.
At this point, though, it's been so long. It's been over a year.
No, not really. Not really, dude. This was fucking the gimmick. They came here in April.
We're in December.
This is over a year? It was really April to December over a year?
Oh, God. Okay, it's been, 9 months? Will you con your shit?
8 months.
Yeah.
Jumping, Jesus.
Dude, I'm a stickler. I am a stickler to dates and time. All right.
Oh, okay, because you're autistic. It's fine.
It was February 26, 1984 when I saw the first match. I remember it clearly. It was a nice day. There was a dew point of 74 degrees. It was wonderful, overcast, slightly sunny.
What the hell?
Okay, sorry I have...
Nice of you to join us, Dave Meltzer.
I was too busy trying to get some from that angel chick.
Fuck you guys for making me sound like Rain Man.
It's been 9 months. 9 months that they've done literally shit other than have the tag team belts for less than a month. And they've done nothing. They haven't been on pay-per-views. They haven't.
Yeah. They couldn't.
No, but there's a difference between being being seen on regular TV once in a while losing, and then being off TV. If they had taken him off and then had him do the losing streak within a month or so, I could have seen it. But he's just been low, not even mid card, not even making any pay-per-views. Where's the reaction?
He is also in his 40s. So remember how the company sees him.
Wow, already?
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, but I mean, still, you had fire there. You didn't have to do the full Hardy gimmick, but you could have led up to it, so people were still interested. You heard his reaction. People were doing the delete chant, but it wasn't like how it used to be, where everyone in the fucking crowd was like, "Holy shit, it's broken Matt Hardy."
Right.
It's not the same reaction. They waited too fucking long. I'm sorry to say.
Well, you know what, dude? But listen.
Well, Pat's got a point though, because the fans are fickle, and they do forget.
No, you both are right, but here's the problem, dude. They didn't want to give this shit traction if it was gonna fall through. Because what happens? Oh, we're gonna build up to it if we're not sure of it, because it really wasn't. Because listen. This still ain't over. They have until December 19th for them to fully get the fucking rights or whatever to it. Impact is still not out of the woods. These fucking cunts are still out there trying to get this fucking thing. Yeah. So it's not a thing of they just won't do it. They don't know if they could. Because WWE doesn't feel like fucking getting in a lawsuit over a stupid fucking because let's be honest, you got all these things to go to court for, and what are you in court? I'm here because a guy decided to do a delete chant in a wrestling ring, and a small company.
They don't want to do that, which is a surefire moneymaker, but someone who's just basically doing a hand sign from the 1990s that was over only with a certain crowd. And it has been barely ever used in WWE since, and they'll send you a fucking cease and desist, and have the possibility of bringing someone to court, but a fucking entire gimmick that is a moneymaker. Yeah, that's not worth going to court for.
And you know what's funny though? Actually, and yeah, you're right. But you know what is funny with that? That all could have been avoided had not the Young Bucks and the Bullet Club actually had done that. If they didn't go to Raw and do that, they would have gone away with it, because until that point, Vince didn't even know. For 2, 3, 4 fucking years, he didn't know that that group was doing the Too Sweet.
Why would he know?
Yeah, you got a point. I mean, he's...
No, but wouldn't Triple H is doing the homework, so wouldn't Triple H go, oh yeah, they're doing her thing?
No, I don't think, no. Hunter also understands that the business is the business. And I don't see him tattletaling on something like that.
Do you think he cares that they're doing it?
He doesn't give two shits.
All the guys that... X-Pac is the one that came up with the fucking thing, and X-Pac's like, yeah, I don't care, Too Sweet, Young Bucks. He's out there doing it with them.
Remember in '94 when they were all doing it, when they were all clicksters? I mean, come on.
Yeah, like, it's Vince and his fucking crew that's being the assholes here.
Apparently they copyrighted it once AJ came into the company.
Is that when they finally got smart
and
did it?
So it was 2014. Oh. But if the Young Bucks had, if the Bullet Club had fucking trademarked that, and they had that on the T-shirts and a whole bunch of other merch beforehand, they could have come out with a copyright for it. But considering they were in Japan at the time, because I think that was before like the Ring of Honor got really involved with that. There was no need to, because they could do the fucking Too Sweet sign as much as they wanted. It's a different it's a different trademark system in Japan. That's why you can do a bunch of in Japan they could play fucking like American rock and a whole bunch of other metal and shit. They can't get sued.
That's also why in Japan,
not really.
Well, that's also why in Japan you see guys that come out and do gimmicks like Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers. You can get away with doing. They even have a guy. They had a guy in Japan like 10 years ago who did a Batman gimmick and called himself Batman from Gotham City. He was Japanese and it didn't get over, but they could still do it.
No, Pat. No, they can't do that because a guy. If you know who he is, Pat. Toby. Makabe. He comes out there with a chain. Because he's doing like a Bruiser Brody tribute gimmick. He comes out to a version, not the actual song, a version of the Immigrant song from Led Zeppelin, because that was Brody's music.
Yeah, but they block it out when it's for if it's on American television. It's on Access TV, they block it out.
No, but they block it on their network, too.
Huh.
On their own network, they can't air it.
So, well, the fact is, they're doing the gimmick now, so better late than never. So Drew McIntyre is out.
Yeah. So he's out 4 to 6 months. He got hurt during the NXT pay-per-view.
How convenient is that he comes back to WWE and then all of a sudden they're going to pay for his surgery? You know, that he gets hurt. I'm wondering, was he hurt before and just blamed it on the pay-per-view?
I don't know.
When I read that, it kind of struck me. A chord was struck. I'm like, you know.
He's been there since April. So I mean, from April to now, and they just took the belt off him, which was funny. They took the belt off of him, that's what they were going to do regardless. But there was rumors of him getting called up. They were supposedly thinking of calling him up right away. But you know, with this injury, of course, that's going to prolong that. But, you know, which to me, I mean, I don't know, man. I was fine with him in NXT,
but... If it's a major surgery, why, keep him off television for a bit? We're in December. Royal Rumble is within, a few months. Why don't you just let him relax, let him...
A month, basically.
Get healthy. Huh?
Almost a month, basically.
Yeah. Just have him come back in Royal Rumble.
He'll come back. He'll come back after WrestleMania. He'll come out on SmackDown or something.
4 to 6 weeks.
No, 4 to 6 months.
4 to 6 months.
Oh.
So apparently it was a major, injury.
Yeah.
Which that's terrible. You never want to hear anybody getting hurt. God, that's another thing they were talking about on that table for three was an injury Sting got. Yeah. And
you got to see it. But oh god, I wish you guys had seen it so we could talk about it. It was, hey, now I know how this feels. Okay.
Was there a when he got injured? Was there a baby Seth Rollins involved or something?
Oh no, no, stop it! No, this was back in '90, and it was when Sting basically destroyed his own knee, and
Seth Rollins tripped him.
Yeah, that's what it was. But it was actually a really interesting story because Flair had no idea that Sting was hurt, and yeah, and if it hadn't been for Brian Pillman, Sting would have gotten a figure four put on him with his patella up into his thigh bone.
Ooh, Jesus
yeah.
Christ.
What it was when Sting was going after Flair for the title, and they had to postpone it 6 months because Sting was coming out to the ring, and they were going to do a big pull apart. Sting jumps up. It was a cage. Flair and Anderson was in the cage, working looked like a couple of jobbers actually. And Sting comes out and he climbs the cage. The minute he gets up on the cage, his knee just blows. And it just, yeah. So it's like Sting's leg from the knee down was just like you could play hopscotch with it. I mean, that's kind of looked like Sid Vicious when he busted his leg.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's how. I didn't even notice it because I remember watching that as a child, and I didn't realize that Sting was hurt. But after he described it and they showed the video footage, yeah, you can see Sting's leg just swinging around, buddy. And Flair comes out; he's completely oblivious that Sting's hurt, and he's going to start punching Sting and all this and that. Meanwhile, we got the Steiner brothers, you got Brian Pillman, you've got the referees, Doug Dillinger, and Pillman gets in Flair's ear and goes, "Knock it off, Sting's hurt." And Flair, first words out of his mouth is, "How the hell did he get hurt?" You know? So,
oh my god!
You know,
it reminds me of just the thing with Sid's laying there breaking his leg, and like fucking Scott Steiner's there, like fucking kicking him and shit, and I forget who else is there, and then like you have the big the big reveal that like fucking Animal's wearing a hockey mask.
right.
And they're like, "Oh my god, it's Road Warrior Animal!" And then you're just sitting there at home thinking, well, this guy's leg is just snapped in two, and we're supposed to be shocked that Road Warrior Animal's out there in a hockey mask? Fuck off!
Yeah, when I seen that, I was like, well, damn, he wore a hockey mask in 1985. You know? I mean, Animal did. They had an angle where he got his face broken or some shit, and he wore a hockey mask that had the Animal paint design on the mask. And I'm like, wow, they're rehashing an old 85 gimmick. That's awesome. Meanwhile, can someone please get some help for Mr. Sid?
Yeah,
you know, because I mean, he's just laying there going, guys. I mean,
I have half the leg. You.
Yes. It's comedy gold. Oh my god.
I'm surprised no one had made that joke before. Good job, Pat.
Just Pat, you were the man, brother. Holy shit. Speaking about these old school guys, let's talk about Starrcade.
Yeah, I'm so fucking mad. I am so mad that they didn't. I am so mad that they didn't post it. That they didn't post this on the network.
Why don't they make this an actual pay-per-view then rather than a fucking bullshit little like house show that no one can see?
It was just like War Games. War Games was fantastic. So
yes, please. Before we get into Starrcade, please.
Every second of it, I thought it was great. I thought the matches were good. They actually told stories, and I thought the War Games match itself was done extremely well.
What did you think about the Velveteen Dream and Aleister Black match?
I'll get to that in a minute. It took me back to when I was a kid watching with my dad. If that's really how you want to, what you want to hear. I remember watching that particular show with my dad, and we were like, you know, I was sitting there with him like, who do you think's going to go in the ring next, Dad? And who do you think's, you know, it was the one with the Freebirds going on against the Road Warriors, and there was a couple other guys in there too, but it was the one where Hawk actually did the press slam to Michael Hayes, you know, in the cage and all that shit, and it was just, I loved the Road Warriors so much. I was such a fan of theirs, and watching the match that you were discussing, I thought it was really well. I thought it was done really, really well.
So
I
what?
thought-
So what are some of the spots that you were like, oh wow, they did this well, or was there anything that you were like, this could have been better?
So nothing. I didn't think anything could have been better. Watching the match, I was just, to be honest with you, I was caught in a suspension of disbelief. If that makes any sense.
Now, last thing, what did you think of the fact that they didn't use the roof?
If you got a bitch about something. Anyway,
they didn't need it. They didn't need the roof.
Oh, come on, yeah. Yeah, they did.
Why? So Sid Vicious could almost break Brian Pillman's neck?
Well, I'm just saying, if you're gonna fuck yourself up, go for it. But I remember that match. That was horrible. But that was.
They don't need it. It would have been a botch fest. They didn't need the roof.
Really?
They didn't. And that spot at the end with the fucking the suplex.
The superplex on top of everybody else.
Cool.
Do you guys remember when the superplex first started?
That was Bob Orton, right?
Nope. Believe it or not, the first superplex that was ever caught on television was done by Tully Blanchard.
Huh.
For a long time, Tully was doing the slingshot suplex as his finisher, and he happened to be in a match. It was literally in Greensboro, North Carolina. They just happened to have a fucking camera, and he put the guy. I want to say he was wrestling. Oh gosh. Ooh, was it Gino Hernandez? It may have been Gino Hernandez. And they just did the bump off the top rope because both of them were high. And they did the suplex off the top rope, and that's how the superplex was born. And then Barry Windham took it as his move. He started using it as his finisher. But
I didn't know Tully was the first guy.
Tully was the first guy to do it. Yes.
Wow.
But
I know he was famous for
not having the roof on the cage was the WWE spin on it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and then I'm also fine with the whole because they made a rule if you didn't know that if you go to escape the cage, you forfeit the match for your team. Mm-hmm. You could do a lot of spin-off, like you can make this match and add more to it for like the next time. You could do a spot where one guy throws one person from the team out of the cage through a table onto the floor, and then boom, that team's eliminated.
That's true.
So there's a lot of stuff you could do with this in the future. I hope they just keep it NXT because I know they'll fuck it up on Raw or SmackDown.
Do you know what this gives me hope for? NXT could also have a Clash of the Champions.
Well, SmackDown's doing the Clash of the Champions.
I know, but I'd rather see it on NXT because NXT is
better.
I'm just saying.
Right. You're damn right. NXT's better.
I want to see World War III.
I'd like that pay-per-view. I thought that was a good idea. I thought the Tower of Terror was retarded, but I thought the rest of it was good.
World War III, Eric came up with an idea would be like you take Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, and you have all the top guys, and that's World War III.
Yes. That would be ooh. You know the other thing I liked about it now that I'm thinking about it, remember how the two rings when they were put together, one of the guys would come out of the ring to go to the other ring and they'd fall through.
Yeah.
I'm glad they thought about. I'm glad that WWE thought about that.
I wasn't a big fan of the fucking Tower of Doom though.
No, I meant the War Games match.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about? Like I remember seeing Sting go to the other ring to get a hold of Flair, and the minute he got out of the ring, his foot slipped and went right down into the middle. The little things, man. I mean, I was nitpicking because I didn't like the roof thing, but you're right. You have a point, and it did start a new degree of originality to it. You know, and the way I looked at it was like it was WWE spin.
Yeah, and I'm also glad that they, even though it was shoot, I'm glad that there was some blood into it.
Fuck yeah, man. A match like any time there's a cage match, there's got to be blood. So, you know.
Oh, there was a fucking ton of blood in that match. They got so bad they had to work on one of the guys during the middle of the match.
That's funny. Starrcade? Do you think that this might give them a chance to bring it into something else?
I hope they realize that they done goofed and that they should fucking add it next year onto television.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, on the network, throw it up on there. But like Goldust came out as the natural Dustin Rhodes.
That was awesome.
Arn Anderson fucking did a spine buster to Ziggler.
Yep.
He even took a bump on the floor.
Yeah.
For Ziggler. So you had some interaction. Flair was out there. Steamboat was out there with Nakamura.
Yep.
Who else? Rocky and Ricky and Robert were out there with the Hardys and the New Day.
Was Animal there? Because I heard he was, but I don't know.
I didn't see anything with Animal being there, but you know, he should have. I mean, of course he should have been, but you know, he wasn't.
There were probably so many of the guys backstage; it was ridiculous. But
yeah, they could have. You know, they could have been. They could have had guys that were at WrestleCade that day, and then you know they came right over just to hang out backstage.
Showed up. Yeah, came up to. That's what I'm talking about. Like there was probably so many people back there just hanging out from the show. Does that, you know what I'm saying? You know, just to be there, because man, I used to love Starrcade was my jam. You know, when I was a kid, that was one of my favorite pay-per-views. That and WrestleMania were my favorites, and it was great because you got to see Starrcade was the WrestleMania for the NWA and WCW, and it was the first pay-per-view.
That's why I'm actually, for the sake of WCW, I'm actually kind of annoyed that they made it into a house show. Like this is on par with WrestleMania. This is on par with any big show now in wrestling, like Wrestle Kingdom for Japan, Final Battle for Ring of Honor. You know, this was what it was for fucking for WCW. So to make it into a house show is like, dude, that's terrible. But you know, I mean, you know, it's WWE. This is fucking they do what they do, and they kind of don't realize shit. But hey, you know what? If anything, they could have just called it a Starrcade tribute night instead of just flat out Starrcade. Because you call it flat out Starrcade, it just makes it look less.
Man, they did that just because they knew they could.
Yeah, but it was in Greensboro.
That's all that was.
I heard it drew pretty good.
Yeah, I did hear. Yeah.
I heard, yeah, and then here's a good tweet of the week here. Cody Rhodes was asked, that day, are you gonna show up at are you gonna show up at Starrcade tonight? And he goes, no, but my brother is wrestling, as well as Dilly. I'm assuming he means Ty Dillinger, and KO, Kevin Owens, all Dusty guys rooting for them. And then Kevin Owens writes, there is no bigger compliment than being deemed a Dusty guy by one of his sons. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's an honor to be called that.
Yeah, so it was really cool that, that's why I don't think Cody really has too much heat with the company. Or maybe not heat with the company. I mean, maybe the company itself, but the boys himself, he's like, he has no problem with.
The boys love him. The fact that they're going to him. The fact that they're going to him and they're asking him how to. A lot of, I mean, we talked about this a couple of months ago, but there's been rumors that a lot of people are asking, how do we get out? How do we get the fuck out of the company? So there's a lot of respect for him. I'm guessing, only the really top guys, I think he's disrespecting them. Mm-hmm. Roman Reigns probably have heat with him. Everyone else, I'm betting he's like fucking like a god to them for having the balls to do what he did.
Well, of course, a guy like Roman Reigns is going to have a problem with a wrestler. So.
Dude, I just want to say something about Raw. We're not really the show to talk about Raw unless there's something catches our eye, or mainly me, because I'm really one of the few. But I was working Monday, but I came home to my and I basically went to Raw in like half an hour. just because, like, I worked 12 hours. I just wanted to fucking listen to my podcast and go to bed. But, you know, I skimmed through it, and I just couldn't help but to think that, like, is Raw really that worthy? Like, that big of a deal? Because half the talent pool weren't even fucking there. Miz took time off because, for whatever reason, probably because his wife's pregnant and he wants to spend time with her. Dean Ambrose and Renee Young were on their honeymoon. Forget it. There was a lot of people that weren't on the show, and it was just like, well, what the fuck is it? What is Raw, an indie show now?
Shield. You have the Shield, bro. You have
No, dude. Dean wasn't there.
Oh, well, you have to.
Sheamus wasn't there. There were a lot of people that weren't on. You had Roman Reigns against Elias Sampson in a fucking Roman Reigns' big Intercontinental championship fucking challenge or whatever the fuck.
They can go
Open
fuck
challenge.
With that. We all know what they're doing. He's gonna keep the belt, and then he's gonna do a little Goldberg thing. He's gonna beat Brock Lesnar while he's the Intercontinental Champion.
Mm-hmm.
We both know. We both know what's gonna happen. The belt is gonna get thrown to the wayside once he gets the Universal fucking title. So they can fucking scare us.
Speaking of which, did you guys see the new U.S. title belt?
What's
is
WWE?
Is that real or is that?
Send me a picture. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh God! Now I gotta find it again. Oh, it was on my Instagram. Hang on, let me find it. Okay, go ahead. Just keep talking. I'm on it.
Okay, yeah.
So WWE's trimming down their pay-per-views.
Yep. Okay, I got the article right here. Let's see.
Did you talk about like the what we think of it, the fucking whole thing that they gave Douchman the Intercontinental belt?
I whatever. Whatever.
Wow.
Listen, people are gonna mark out because it's the Shield. I prefer the Shield together. When they're together, I feel like they cancel each other out. I have no problem with the Shield. I know you're done with them, Pat. I don't know. If Roman Reigns by himself,
I was never into them. I think they're fucking garbage. I really do think they're garbage. I only one that's anyway decent is Seth Rollins. But once you give him a fucking mic, it's fucking black noise to me.
I don't know. I feel like on promos they even cancel each other out. They all compliment each other. They hide all of their weaknesses, and they make them into short promos with the three of them talking, having fucking one line each. That's all you need. I have no problem with them whatsoever. You know, being a unit. And you know what, though? But my problem with Monday was they're coming out there. Seth's coming out there, you know, with his stupid fucking metal music that, you know, whatever. And then what's his name there? Roman's coming out with his logos again. So they're basically made it seem like, oh, the Shield. We're taking time away from the Shield again. It's
I found it. Personally, I like the other one better.
The U.S. belt? Yeah, show Eric.
Yeah, I found it.
I just got it back. Yeah, there it is.
I can tell you.
It looks like the Intercontinental belt. I mean, that's all it is.
Send it to me.
It doesn't look that bad.
It doesn't, but at the same time, it's the Intercontinental title. That's all it is.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. No, that's fake.
Oh, that is fake.
Yeah, that's a fake belt. That design has been out there for at least a year or two. Yeah, and Pat didn't send me the picture yet, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. I've seen that all over the internet. Yeah, it's Photoshop.
Did he show him? Where is it?
No, you sent it to him.
I know, but I know what you guys are talking about since you said it looks like the Intercontinental title.
I think I know what you're talking about, but I think this is something new, Eric. This looks new. Like it's.
Well, all right. I can tell you if I've seen it.
You'll see when Pat sends it to you.
Yeah, when this decides to fucking copy, right?
So what pay-per-views are they chopping down?
All right, let's see here. All right, so Raw will have 5 pay-per-views. SmackDown will have 4 pay-per-views, and then there'll be 5 co-branded events. They're adding Money in the Bank as a co-branded show, which I've been saying that they need to do that. They need to treat this fucking thing. If they're gonna go full-fledged Money in the Bank for years to come, like they have been, just make it interpromotional. So I'm fine with them doing that, but you know. So the main reason basically why is just because of WWE looked at the numbers on the network. There was no increase or nothing. They had lower ticket prices. I remember for one of the shows in July because it was a Punjabi prison match with Orton and Jinder, which no one wanted to fucking go to. You're in the middle of July where everyone's on vacation, and is really anyone gonna go there to see a guy that wrestles like a fucking wooden horse against a guy who's just like, oh, I'll try when I feel like it.
Broom, you're the broom, sir.
So here's the pay-per-view list. January 28th in Philly, the Rumble. February 25th in Vegas, the Elimination Chamber for Raw. March 11th in Columbus, Fastlane for SmackDown. New Orleans, WrestleMania, April 8th. May 6th, Newark, New Jersey, Backlash for Raw. May 27th, Baltimore, Payback for SmackDown. June 17th, Chicago, Money in the Bank for both shows. July 15th, Battleground in Pittsburgh for Raw. August 19th, Brooklyn, SummerSlam. September 16th, San Antonio, Extreme Rules. September 30th, Nashville, Hell in a Cell. October 21st, Boston, TLC for Raw. Los Angeles gets Survivor Series, November 18th. And then December 16th, Clash of the Champions for SmackDown in San Jose.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
Earls, I just found the exact same belt. It's dated 2016. Obviously, it's fake.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Yeah, that's fake, dude. That's Photoshop.
I thought it was. I kind of thought it was suspect when I saw it. I was like, well,
I mean, it's a nice design.
It's a nice design, but it looks just like the Intercontinental belt. I mean, it's basically the Intercontinental title.
You know why?
With the United States on it. So
you know why? You know why people did that? Because last year when they came out with the Universal title and the 2 women's titles, every belt started looking the same. So people started photoshopping as a joke. Oh yeah. Let's just make the U.S. belt look like the Intercontinental title, and then there's photoshops of like all the belts with the giant W. So it was just a joke. This is like a joke Photoshop.
They stop doing that? The fucking stupid giant W thing. Like you don't need a giant W belt.
You know why they did? Supposedly, the reason why they did that, other than cutting costs, was because they were like, "Oh, well, UFC has every belt that looks the same."
Yeah, but the design on that belt actually looks like a belt, though.
Yeah, it does.
UFC belts look like championship belts. This just looks like bling.
This looks like a belt buckle.
It does.
It looks like a belt buckle for a douchebag that has way too much money.
More money than sense.
It looks like if you took away the fanny pack from Michael Hayes, and this is what he would wear.
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
Oh, speaking of fanny packs, oh my God! So Shane.
Oh, so you
Shane
still
Douglas,
have one?
Shane, oh God, I used to have the actual. Dude, I rocked the wrestler look back in the day. I had the baggy pants. I had the street boots. I had the fanny pack. I had the backwards turn hat. Oh fuck yes!
All you needed to do is walk around with the world title in the airport, and you were good.
Well, I never got a world title, but I did have a couple of belts, but I was conservative enough. I was raised in the business to never, ever, ever, ever bring your belt out because that's just tacky.
Oh, so you're not like so it's not like Big Show when he was getting ribbed and they told him, "Oh, you're the champ. Walk around the airport with the belt."
That was the best. Oh, they got him so good. But to be honest, he kind of deserved it. He was kind of an asshole. From what I've heard. I mean,
I liked him the few times I met him.
No, I mean, I like him too, but what I'm saying is...
He had a shitty attitude at the beginning, yes.
He had a really bad attitude, yeah.
He warmed up over the years, but, you know,
yeah.
I mean, like, when I first met him as a kid, he was nice directly to me, but we were all told when we were going to meet him, all right, the Giant doesn't want to meet anyone until after he eats, so he's in a better mood. And it's a true fucking story.
No, it's just funny the way you say after he's had a feeding, he'll be better.
Yeah, but that's the way they fucking explained it.
Yeah. Oh my god. Well, you don't want a hungry, angry giant. You know. I managed to piss him off the one time I met him. So.
Yeah, well, you did the wrestler's handshake.
Oh boy. And there's no shame saying that yes, I felt a little pee run down my leg. Because you don't really realize how big he is until you see him in person, and when he's towering over you and he wants to kick your ass because you did something you shouldn't have done, you tend to worry.
Of course.
But I digress. Anyway, so we we made it through the whole synopsis, and we got 15 minutes until 1.
Yeah, is there anything you guys want to discuss?
I've discussed everything I wanted to cover.
All right, Pat, is there anything that you saw that you want to talk about before we wrap this up?
Did we talk about how Earl's and Zamar?
Well, we do that every show. I mean,
we cover that with all of us are marks.
All right, then we're good. Then we're good.
You know, yeah, we covered everything. We covered that Pat's got a small pecker, so it's good. And of course, Patterson confirmed it, but. There's not much under there.
He said about Earls.
Well, shut up, Patrick. You're not supposed to.
Oh, fuck off! Oh God! All right, this isn't wrestling related, but the Jersey Shore is coming back to MTV.
Oh yeah, you didn't hear about that?
We just got MTV back here too.
Floribama Shore.
Oh, Viacom decided to not be assholes by you.
We've had it back for about a month. Yeah.
Oh, well, good job, Viacom.
Yeah, right. The kids were real happy because they got back the Cartoon Network and not Cartoon Network. Fuck, not Cartoon Network. The other one, Nickelodeon. Thank you, Jack. Jack's home today. He's not. He has a doctor's appointment. So. Oh, yeah, and okay, yeah, I do have something I wanted to say. Yesterday was my son's birthday, so Dalton turned 10 years old yesterday.
Yes, happy birthday to Dalton.
Yes, he had a wonderful birthday. He got a new Nerf gun. He got a gift card to the pottery place because he likes to do stuff like that. And he got a ninja set, and he got a stuffed Pinkie Pie because he saw the My Little Pony movie, My Little Brony. He loves it, and he got a Pinkie Pie, and he had a very good birthday. And I actually drew his birthday cake design.
Oh, very nice.
For him. Yeah, he likes panda bears. And his YouTube handle is actually Homie Panda. So he likes panda bears, and I think it's wonderful. And so when it was time to get his birthday cake ordered, we wanted to find something with a panda bear, and we really couldn't. I mean, we looked at 2 different stores, nothing. So I did this, and this is what his cake looked like. So there's that.
You have the panda, and then you have a My Little Pony shirt on the panda.
Actually, yeah, I did.
Oh.
Yeah, right there's the picture. Did you see it, Pat?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, and he's doing that dab
That's
thing
good.
because the kids like to do that dab shit. I don't know what it is, but anyway, it's not a dance move. It looks like you're trying to swat something.
It looks like he's sneezing.
Yeah, it looks like he's sneezing. Yeah, but he loved it. He flipped out over it, and he was really happy. So, and that was the main thing.
May I ask, all curiosity, why the panda's wearing a My Little Pony shirt?
Because he's the homie panda, and Pinkie Pie is also his favorite pony. So, that's fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this picture was extremely Dalton. So. A few years ago, I did the same thing for Jack. He liked Doctor Who at the time, so I made him a Doctor Who birthday cake picture of him as Doctor Who. And they put it on his birthday cake.
Hey, man, that's really cool, though, that you were able to, like, make
I
art
was
for
able,
your son.
to draw that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that being said, I guess we can wrap it up.
All right, let's see here. Okay, plugs. Check out our good friend there, Chad Flatt, of the Pro Wrestling Weekly on theFansPodcast.com. VocNation.com, Retro with the Shro. That's on every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, Wrestling Soup on Mixler, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Thursday nights. Also, check them on iTunes and Stitcher. Stitcher's finally getting their shit back together on updating the shows, especially our shows, iTunes and Stitcher. You can find us there. EMWCreations.com/KTR is where all the archives are as well. If you're on your computer, go to YouTube. Please sub us there. We want to get the viewer ups as much as possible. We also have more YouTube videos of like Japanese talent. We just recently uploaded ones with Takashi Iizuka from Japan, as well as didn't you make an AJ Styles one from Japan as well? Okay, so you got him on there as well. Now, let's see what else we got there. Facebook.com/Kayfabe Talk Radio for all your updates and stuff. We're on here every Wednesday, 10:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time ish. Also, there will be times where we won't be on here on Wednesdays, but please stay to that Facebook to be updated. Also, I'm on Twitter at EricTheRed211. J.R. Earl's Art on Twitter, and Mr. _Bonesaw for all your gripes and complaints on the show. And
you are the man, dude.
One of the few.
I'm telling you.
Till next time, guys. You know what to do, Pat. Keep it kayfabe.
I can't find nobody to give me monkey love. So I'm putting my money on the table, laying my money on the bar. I'm looking for a hooker. She don't have to be a looker if she's willing to blow me in the car. Blow me in the car.